Belmonte. Well, Jason's been pretty consistent in terms of his speed. Just 0.2 of a kilometre deviation, so he's got that part of his game right. The consistency's there, but he's varied those rev rates quite a bit. He's just searching for something on the lane at the moment, isn't he?
Absolutely, yes, and it could be that the lane is changing slightly. Belmonte back with a double, jumps on Badr's open frame.
Seek and you shall find, I think is the phrase.
Absolutely, yes, and it may well be that the lane's changing a little bit. The oil has been now moved around by both players playing to the right-hand side of the lane. The heat from these television lights burning down onto the lane, that oil moves around, and it almost teases with the players, and they can only tell by the ball reaction where the oil's moved, and they have to make adjustments in their setup accordingly.
Strike rate just dropping a touch for Belmonte, down to 66%. We've seen Chris Barnes over 70% on his striking rates. Badr then trying to get rid of that last open frame. He needs a double really to cancel that out, and that's the first of them.
Well, pretty fortunate there. He sailed a bit wide and managed to get the ball back to the pocket. Left the Tenpin standing, but our old favourite messenger, the head pin, comes off the left-hand kickback and goes right across the pin deck to take that Tenpin away. Nice and steady at the line. Nice still head, great follow through. Where's that one going to go? Well, you watch the head pin off the left-hand kickback, and there it goes, takes the Tenpin away. Great pin action.
Same for Belmonte. There's a second turkey of this first game for the Australian. Just the blemish of that open frame in the 6th.
Simon, can you believe we're already down to the 9th frame? That was Belmonte's foundation frame, frame number 9.
Well, as ever, Cass, it's flying by. It's just the quality of these players. It's an absolute privilege to watch them in action.
We thank, obviously, our Stato man and Andrew Penny and our Cat's Lane system here for these details coming through about ball speeds and rotation on the ball.
Good work. Badr turns it into a double, so in effect he has cancelled out that open frame that he left, and his foundation frame is also a strike.
Yeah, both set up for a big 10th frame, and just 2 pins difference. Both working on 2 strikes. Actually, Belmonte working on 3 strikes, but going into the 10th frame, just 2 pins in Belmonte's favour.
Good tournament stats for Badr Sheikh. He'll be pretty pleased with those at the moment. Belmonte then to close out this first game. 244 is the maximum available if he strikes through, and the emotions now starting to spill over. Big celebration from Belmo after this one. Drop the revs down. Got the result.
A nice bit of body language there. He realised that that's a very important ball. It gives him the opportunity to shoot 2 more strikes in the 10th frame. Off the sheet for 244, which will give him the lead, as slight as it may be. Should be leading starting game number 2.
This is great stuff from Jason Belmonte.
Yeah, you can see the aggression in his body language, and he's letting out a few shouts as well. He knows when that ball's right. Absolute run in the pocket, carries all 10 pins. Nice to see.
Now 1 more strike and he will definitely lead. Could be 2 pins the lead, or if Badr Sheikh misses one of his strikes, maybe a little more than that. But it's going to be close. Oh, he got it. Touch of luck.
Just a change of line there on that last ball. Jason went fishing just to see if there was anything out on the outside of the lane. Got the reaction he was looking for and made another strike. Finished in grand style with 6 in a row.
So 544, the maximum still available to Belmonte, but 244 from that first game. Once again, he's turned in some good numbers.
Interestingly, 3 pins down on his average for his first round match when he averaged 247. So he's there or thereabouts. It was a great game.
Badr composing himself for 3 very important deliveries. No, straight through the head pin. Overreacted when it got to the dry part of the lane, and it's left him the spare again. It's going to cost him some shots here, isn't it? His maximum's moved down to 219 against Belmonte's 244 at the moment.
High through the head pin, leaves himself the 3, 6 and 10 pin cluster spare on the right hand side of the lane. Now he needs to be accurate. Mario looking quite concerned. Yeah, about 3 boards inside his previous strike line. Needs to keep this one nice and tight. Must hit that head pin. Oh dear, and that's a big open frame in frame number 10.
And his score plummets to 207. So it is Jason Belmonte of Australia. Tricky start for him, but came back very strongly to close out that game, and he leads very comfortably at the moment.
Welcome back to the PartyPoker.net World 10-Pin Masters. Now this is where the greats of the game come together under the pressure of the lights. Let's get back to the game where Jason Belmonte and Badr Sheikh are playing to try and score that place in the semi-final.
Badr has got a few things to think about now in this match. He started so solidly, had that wonderful 4-bagger through the middle of the first game, and it was all looking good. He should have really had a lead on Belmonte, but then a very frustrating open frame for him in frame 7.
Yeah, 7 strikes in the game, which should have been good enough, but unfortunately the 2 big open frames that you're talking about reduced his score down to just over 200.
Yeah, that first open knocked his confidence, didn't it? And then the open frame right at the end destroyed his score, unfortunately.
Yeah, the 10th frame, the 3 shots in the 10th frame gives you the opportunity to make 30 pins, but he only made 9, so it really reduced his chances and opened up a big window of opportunity for Jason, who is 37 pins in the lead. And he's not the sort of player that you can crawl those pins back against. So from frame number 1, my friend from Saudi Arabia is very much under pressure. He's going to have to dig deep now and be nice and easy.
He's just going to have to read the sticker on his shoe. That's what it says, just a little mental note. It's a cue, a mental cue that he uses to remind him how he wants to swing his arm. And a lot of players do use that nice and easy phrase. It works for them. Great work from Belmonte to open his account up with a strike.
Jens Nickel looks on, enjoying himself here. First round loser.
The man that was beaten by Belmonte.
Nothing nice and easy about this shot. It's all blast and thunder, isn't it? Absolutely rips the rack. Those pins stand no chance.
It's all turned round for Jason. 15 minutes ago he was hanging his head, sat in that chair, wondering where the next strike was coming from. And we said it was really in the hands of this young man, Badr Sheikh, to make a mistake, and he's come up with 2 big mistakes, unfortunately for him, at the start of this second game.
He's left the 3 and the 9 pin sleeper on the right hand side from a ball that's high through the head pin. Frustrated look on his face now. What's gone wrong? Has the lane changed, and maybe he's now looking to make changes, but he's running out of frames. Maybe he needs to change something in his setup just to get back in that pocket. In the meantime, Belmonte looks on, sitting with a strike in frame number 1 and the opportunity to double up in frame 2. So a 37 pin lead could well